Pacific. Well, top administration officials look ahead to the president's packed schedule of meetings at the G20 Summit later this week. A final decision on additional Chinese tariffs will likely result. RFD-TV's Sarah Mock reports.
White House advisors are cautiously optimistic about Thursday's G20 meeting between China and the U.S.
In his view, there's a good possibility that a deal can be made, and that he is open to that.
Kudlow says the president will be looking for strong commitments from China on lowering trade barriers during a working dinner with President Xi. If he finds the talks insufficient, Kudlow says the president is happy to continue utilizing broad-based tariffs, which already affect $200 billion worth of Chinese goods and have triggered retaliatory tariffs that have crippled U.S. ag markets.
Certain conditions have to be met with respect to fairness and reciprocity. Significant tariffs and non-tariff barriers must be solved. If things don't work out in this U.S.-China summit meeting, he will invoke another $267 some odd billion in tariffs.
Kudlow says the U.S. economy is well situated to handle the ongoing trade conflict. And though tariffs are creating winners and losers, he says the interests of America's farmers and workers are still top of mind for the president. Still, advisors aren't anticipating any major breakthroughs.
Not with the expectation that at this meeting there'll be some substantial agreement coming out of it, but that there would be an indication, a kind of way ahead that the advisors could then pursue.
Lawmakers will also be watching the meetings closely, as tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese imports are scheduled to increase to 25% at the beginning of the year, likely causing additional retaliations.
My expectation would be that you won't find a final agreement, but if China's smart, they will indicate a path to an agreement and not too far into the future.
Kudlow challenged China Tuesday to step up, particularly on issues like agriculture and industrial tariffs, and become a more responsible trading nation. He says there's already broad-based support for the U.S.'s critique of China around the world, and says rallying allies globally will also be a part of the administration's G20 strategy. For RFD-TV, I'm Sarah Mock in Washington.
Well, despite optimism for a compromise with China, the president tells the Wall Street Journal he expects to unleash a third round of tariffs, adding it is highly unlikely he will accept China's request to postpone any taxes.